Hello everybody, so today I'm going to be telling you about the 22 books that I want to read in 2022. These are not like new releases that are coming out. These books are part of my backlog, and a lot of these are books that I've been meaning to get to for so long and I just haven't for whatever reason. There's a few here that are like big fantasy books, so I know why I haven't gotten to them, but I just really still want to read them, so hopefully I get to them this year. But this is my aim anyway, and yeah, I will tell you all of the books that I hope to get to in 2022. So first off, I really want to get to Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare, and this one I have been wanting to read for a while. I have had a mostly hate relationship with Cassandra Clare in the past. I have tried and DNF'd the Mortal Instruments, what's it called, City of Bones, like 3 times. So I figure I'm going to give this one a shot because I have been told that even if you haven't read the other ones, like including the Infernal Devices, you should be okay with this one. I hear that this one is better if you've read the Infernal Devices, but you don't have to. So I am eager to try this and get into the world of Shadowhunters and see if I like it, and then if I like it, I'm gonna go from there and maybe read the backlog. We'll see. Next up, I have Crescent City by Sarah J Maas. This is another big fantasy, and I think this one is more of a urban fantasy. Honestly, I just got it because I'm a little bit trash for Sarah J Maas, so I still have not read this, and I can't believe it because I've heard it's some of her best work yet, and I've heard it's really good, so I'm definitely keen on this one, hopefully really soon. The next book is something I'm definitely going to be getting to, and that is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I cannot believe I haven't read this yet. I know I'm definitely going to end up reading this one because I have a couple of like IRL friends who really want to read this as well, and we are going to attempt to make this like our book club picks. We're just basically reading it together. I have been wanting to read this book for years, like honestly so long. I have heard absolutely amazing things about it, and I just think I'm gonna love it. Like, I've heard her prose is very like pretty, which I really enjoy, so fingers crossed I can read this probably in the next few months. The next high fantasy I want to read, and I need to get the rest of this series as well, although I haven't read the first book, and that is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. Again, I've heard so many good things about this. I've heard so many good things about like basically all of these books, but like particularly this one, I feel like it's going to be right up my alley, and I have had it on my radar for, I want to say like 3 years now. Like, it's been a long time and I really need to get to it, and the series is over now, I'm pretty sure. And then lastly, for like the bigger fantasies, I've got other fantasy in here as well technically, but this is probably like the biggest like chunky fantasy. That is Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This one, probably the biggest book I own. This book is so big. That's the main reason why I haven't picked it up, because I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of intimidated by it, but also I have heard nothing but good things about this. I don't know too much about this. I know it's like an epic fantasy. There's like dragons and I think a sapphic romance and like a matriarch, and yeah, like I cannot wait for this, but hopefully I end up reading it this year. Alright, the rest of the books are kind of in a random order just because I don't really know how to like categorize them. And then I think this is book number 6, is The Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. This is another, I think it's a duology, and I know the second book is definitely out already. And I actually started reading this like a while ago, but I was basically in my reading slump back then, so I decided to put it down for the time being, and I haven't really like gone back to it yet, but I really want to. It is based on Korean folklore about a gumiho, or a nine-tailed fox. I think she devours men. Yeah, she like devours men. So that's all I really know about it. I've heard it's really good, really fun. I am still kind of like into YA fantasy as well, so hopefully this is a good time. Next up, I have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. This is like the stunning illustrated anniversary edition. Like, I'm obsessed with it. This one just sounds really interesting. Apparently it's not like a lot of her other work, like it is quite different to what she usually writes. However, I'm really looking forward to it still, and I want to see what all of the hype is about. I'm really excited for this one. I'm excited about all of these books. I'm sorry I keep saying I'm excited, but I am. At number 8, I have Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nunn, and this is the first in a trilogy, I believe. This is another sapphic romance, another YA fantasy, and I just think I'm gonna really love it. It's been on my radar for so long. Like, I picked this up so long ago, and I still have not read the first book. I don't have books 2 or 3 or anything like that. I'm gonna read the first one, see how I go, and then decide whether I want the second and the third book from there. Next up, I have Middle Game by Shauna Maguire. I'm not gonna lie, it has been a hot minute since I looked at the synopsis or heard anything about this, so I can't remember what it's really about. I think it's something to do with alchemy, and that's about it. Like, I don't know much else apart from that. But I do know that I love Shauna Maguire's writing. I've read the Wayward Children series by the same author, and I absolutely love it, like so much. So I'm really curious to see what else they have written, and I know that like Shauna Maguire has written so many books, like so many books, but I'm gonna give this one a go. And I think there's like a companion novel for this coming out in 2022 as well, so you know, if I like this, maybe I'll pick up the companion novel. We'll have to see. Next up, I have Circe by Madeline Miller. I have again had this on my radar for literally years, like since it came out. Like, I don't even remember when this came out. I've had this since 2018 and I have not picked it up yet or read it at all. I did recently read The Song of Achilles by the same author, and oh my god, I loved it. If you watched my favorite books of 2021 video, you might have seen it in there. I'll link it up the top and down below as well. I loved her writing like so much, and I'm really like excited about reading this now. Like, before, I feel like I didn't really know what to expect going into a book like this, but now that I've read The Song of Achilles and loved it, I am definitely like even more hyped about reading this one now. Next up, I have Tomie by Junji Ito. This one is a graphic novel or a horror manga. It is very big. Not as big as Uzumaki, I don't think, but I have had this on my TBR again for a while. I basically just got into Junji Ito, I want to say properly maybe like end of 2020 and like beginning of 2021, and I absolutely love his work. Like, everything I've read of his, I have devoured and just had so much fun reading. So I'm definitely really keen for this one. This one follows a girl assassin. I have been meaning to read it for ages. It's just like a little bit bigger, and a lot of the time when I want to read a graphic novel, I kind of just want to like get it done quickly. But I'm so excited for this one, and I'm definitely going to be picking it up probably soon. Like, when I'm in a graphic novel mood next, I'm probably going to be picking up this one. Next up, on a slightly different genre, I have The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armes, and I have seen a hype for this literally everywhere, and I only picked it up like a few months ago, so like, I'm not being too hard on myself for not having read it yet, but also I need to read it because apparently it's just the best slow burn romance ever. And the love interest, Aaron Blackford, is meant to be like the best written man in a romance novel ever, and I'm just really excited about it. Like, I have so many high expectations. I really hope I love this, because I think I'm going to, because I do love like a fun like slow burn romance, but I just, yeah, I have like really high expectations for this, so I'm really hoping I love it. Book number 13 is Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. I can't remember too much about this either, I'm not gonna lie. I believe I bought this in like 2020, like almost as soon as it came out, but I just never read it. I believe it is about a trans boy who accidentally summons a ghost, and that's all I really know to be honest. That's all I can remember anyway. The next book I really want to read is The Black Flamingo by Dean Atta. I have mentioned this in so many reading vlogs that I'm going to get to it soon, and I just haven't, and I don't know why, because I know it's going to be a really beautiful read, and it's also super short as well. Like, it's all written in kind of like verse, and I just know I'm gonna love it. So I don't know why I haven't read it yet. It's also like super tiny. Like, that's the size of Black Flamingo compared to a normal hardcover. Like, it's so small, and I honestly cannot wait. Next, I have The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. Again, this has been on my TBR for years now. I attempted to read it during Christmas time, like literally a month ago, but I was just really busy during December, and so I didn't really end up picking it up. So that's a disappointment, because it is a Christmas based story, but I think I'm just gonna like read it not around Christmas time, because like Christmas time is always like flat out for me. So I think I'm just gonna read it when it suits me and when I feel in the mood. It has a unlikable main character, and I believe she has a lot of character development and growth, and it just sounds amazing. Next up, I have Permanent Record by Mary H.K. Choi. This is another one that I have actually picked up already in the past. I might actually still have a bookmark. Yeah, okay, I got up to page 18. So not very far into it, but I ended up putting it down because I was still in a reading slump, and I was enjoying like what I'd read so far. Like, it is a contemporary, don't know too much apart from that. I have heard like nothing but good things about Mary H.K. Choi's work in general. For some reason, this is just the first one that I want to read from her. I know she's got a couple of other books, like there's Yoke, and I think her first one was Emergency Contact, and again, I've heard really good things about those two books as well. So I'm going to read this one first, and then I don't know what one I'm going to read after that if I like her writing, but we'll see. Okay, we have 6 more books to go. So the next one I really want to read is My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. I haven't read this one yet because I have heard it is quite dark. It is about a girl who is groomed and abused by her teacher. Later on in life, she ends up hearing news that he's done this to other girls when they were younger as well, and she kind of starts rethinking everything and rediscovering her memories about what happened and how like wrong and fucked up it all was. And I've heard it's very, very hard to read, so I'm probably gonna have to be in the right kind of like frame of mind to read this. Next up is Eggshell Skull by Bree Lee. This one is a memoir, and this one also delves into the topic of sexual assault. Bree works in the justice system in Australia, and this goes into detail about her experiences with sexual assault victims in court, as well as her own experience with sexual assault as well. I think a friend recommended this to me a few years ago, and I picked it up a couple of years later, like after her recommendation, and I still haven't read it. I really, really need to, because I am just, yeah, I think it's gonna be a really, really like important and like timely novel as well, especially because I'm Australian and it's set in the Australian justice system. I think it's going to be really interesting. Number 19 is Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng, and this is another one I have had on my shelf for so long. I think since like 2016, I want to say. Like, I have had it just sitting there on my shelf. It has survived so many unhauls just because I'm still so interested in it. I have heard that Celeste Ng just has really, really beautiful writing, and I just think it's going to be really good, and I don't know why I haven't read it yet. Alright, now we are up to 20, 21 and 22. So in no particular order, the next book that I really want to read at number 20 is My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Tessa Moshfegh, and I have just been seeing lots of hype for this lately. Like, I have been seeing it everywhere. Like, so many people on booktube and on BookTok and everywhere have been talking about this book, and I hear it's very depressing. Like, it's about a girl who is basically depressed and she takes a year off for rest and relaxation, but I've just heard so many good things about it, and it just sounds like something I'm going to really enjoy. And also I am trying to kind of like expand my reading a little bit in 2022. This sounds pretty different to kind of what I have usually read in the past. I mentioned The Night Circus earlier, where my friends and I are going to read it together. This is another book that we plan on reading together as well, so I'm definitely going to get to this one this year as well. Number 21 is Luster by Raven Leilani. Again, this is another one that I've been seeing a lot of hype for recently, and I recently picked it up, and honestly I kind of want to read it like right now, like as soon as it got in the mail, but I'm literally reading like 4 or 5 books right now and I can't pick up another one. So I'm going to read it like as soon as I can, because I just have heard so many good things about this. I've heard that this is a really interesting and kind of like different book, and I think I'm just gonna really enjoy it. And also, like, I'm not gonna lie, this might be one of my favorite covers of all time. I'm kind of in love with it and I think it looks amazing, and also it just sounds amazing as well. I'm very hyped for this. And then at number 22, the final book on this list is Night Bitch by Rachel Yoder. This is another one that I think I saw on BookTube in like June or July or something, and it just sounds so weird. Like, honestly, I really enjoy weird books and weird movies in general, and apparently this one is quite strange. It is about a mother who literally turns into a dog, I think, at night time. So she turns into a night bitch. I think it's just going to be like a really interesting novel. It also explores like motherhood a little bit. I'm not a mother or anything like that, but I think it's something that will be interesting to read about, especially in the context of her turning into a dog at night time. And again, like, I don't really like get what's gonna go on here, but I'm really excited for this. I waited for this in the mail for so long. Like, I feel like I ordered this like 3 months ago and it only arrived like a few weeks ago. So it's finally here, and it's similar to like Luster in that like I wanted to read it like as soon as I got it in the mail, but I was just like too busy and had too many other things going on. So this is another one that is definitely high up like on the list. Like, I know I've said I want to get to all of these soon, because I do. I really am hyped about all of these books, but like this is another one where I'm gonna be picking it up literally as soon as possible. Okay, that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments below whether you've read any of these books or what books you're really hoping to get to and knock off your TBR this year in 2022. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to as well. And I hope you have a good day or night, and I'll see you all next time.